Hi, family. How are you guys doing? Okay, I took a break from reading. Okay. So they made me take down my Harpos. I do not have access to what feature. So they made me take down my Harpos because I played music in the back. So that's the death of that. The problem is with the people that are upset about the music that you play in the back is that they're not understanding that you're actually promoting them. Hello. So maybe I didn't say a name or who is playing. I don't know. I don't know. But here goes. So, for some reason, I know like people are. How do you watch somebody and not be listed as a viewer? I don't know what that is. I digress. So here goes. People come in and out and they're expecting a reading. I have nothing against reading. I love readings. I watch them like quite frequently because it's quite important. You know, it plays an important role in my life, and I've finally learned why. Check it out. So first of all, there's 7. They say the number 7 a lot. So I started looking into it. There are 7 deadly sins. There are 7 stages of grief. God made heaven and earth in 7 days. 7 days on the calendar. Do you know how long it takes to get over the average habit? An average person to get over a habit? 7 days. One calendar week. So check it out. This is Oracle. It never wants to focus. Oracle of the 7 energies. Look here. That's really weird. So the 7 energies are, number 1 energy is the earth energy. The water energy. The fire energy is the 3rd energy of the oracle. The 4th energy is love. The 5th energy is sound. The 6th energy is light. And the 7th energy is thought. I think we have 7 chakras. The number 7 is really important. I've learned. I wrote it down. The number 7 symbolizes spiritual perfection and completion. The number 7 also, the angel number, means divine magic. So if you see 777, that means spiritual perfection and completion. You can also interpret it as the angel number of divine magic. The number 7 alone means perfection, security, safety, and rest. The number 7 of 3 of the heavens and the soul with the number 4. The number 7 is or contains the number 3 of the heavens and the soul with the number 4 of the earth and body. Again, the 7 deadly sins: pride, envy, wrath, lust, gluttony, sloth, and greed. But all of those do have counterparts. The 7 deadly sins are vices, behaviors, and habits. The worst of the sins, the greatest of immorality. And each, again, has counterparts, which are the positive energies: humility, meekness, love of God, love of others, appreciates self-worth, love and joy, thankfulness, compassion, satisfaction. Peace, gentleness, self-control, contentment, patience, discernment, love, unselfishness, perseverance, diligence, sovereignhood, generosity. That being said, do you know how, and maybe this is like a clear audience thing, but if you listen to tarot close enough, they'll mention the sin and the counterpart. I see you're feeling such and such. I see you're feeling, and then as their advice, it'll be show more of such and such, which is the 7 deadly sins counterpart. There's always advice. You just have to hear it. It took me a while to understand it, though. So I'm like, y'all some haters. Y'all sitting over here talking the mess. Because I'm a Sagittarian. And when I say if I get in my car, they mention the Chariot card. So I don't know if it's specifically for me, but they say that it's for the energies that need it the most. And you know, when I was first starting my journey, I asked for it. And I've been asking for it and asking for it and asking for it ever since. By the way, the orbs are back. Really weird. But they're not so many. There were a lot that night. But this morning I woke up before 7. Because at 7 o'clock, the sun comes up, the orbs disappear. It's not even like that. It's like a daybreak. They leave at daybreak. Back to what I was saying. So I often wonder how this all started, and I realized it started because someone didn't choose me. My truest healing started because someone refused to see my worth. I then refused to see my worth. Synchronization. No, I'm not sure what that word means. Probably the Two of Swords, but it's not, it doesn't say synchronization, but I bet it means that. Something has me connected to these cards and I haven't figured out yet why, because I haven't read with them yet. This would be an interesting thing to learn. Because they have major arcana and they have minor arcana, just like a regular deck. Only it's a Buddhist deck. So this is the number 2 of their. Apparently, it's not just, they have a major arcana. They have a minor arcana. I saw that when I looked at it. They also, part of this deck, have a mystery of, a Queen of Fire. So it is they have a major and a minor arcana. Okay. So now I have to go through because it's not labeled. But it says number 2, so I'm going to assume that it's the second one. But it's not. Okay. So keep it moving. It has all the major. Let me put it like this. Instead of having like an Ace of Wands, Ace of Swords, it has the meaning specifically. How you're supposed to figure out, I guess you can tell by the pictures, which it's very artistic. I see the clouds, so I must be getting close. Okay, so number 4. So I got to go to 2. Oh, okay, so I kind of get it. I get it. Okay. And no. Okay, so on to the next. I'm so interested. I'm intrigued by it. I'm so intrigued. I'm actually probably going to read it. And I can read intuitively. So the first time I read a book, I don't have to read it any more books. But this one is quite interesting. I'm kind of glad I got it, but my problem is the clouds. That was twice I looked at. I said it twice and then looked, and then I found it. Under the clouds. Under the clouds. Okay. It's like the 2 of Wands. The 2 of Pentacles. Schizophrenia. Schizophrenia is a normal condition of man. at least now. It may not have been so in the primitive world, but centuries of conditioning, civilization, culture, and region have made man a crowd divided, split, and contradictory. But because the split is against his nature, deep down somewhere hidden, the unity still survives. So, two personalities, one soul. The Two of Pentacles. Still united and yet divided. Friendliness. So I'm this deck is I honestly, I was surprised when I was pulling for the lady that I pulled for yesterday, because this deck is kind of dark. It's real. Now you want something, you want to know the real. If you really want to know the real, this deck is real. I mean, so let me get back down to the nitty gritty that I was speaking of in the first place. And then I have to separate this deck to see what I am missing, because this is interesting. Look at this. It's like the real, there's no sugarcoat on this deck. It doesn't say anything nice. It's everything direct, straight, and to the point. Going with the flow. Look, traveling. I told you I've been getting that. Transformation, the burden, maturity, isolation, control, understanding, receptivity, conditioning. This is interesting. Like exactly how it would be described if you read a tarot book. He just used the exact words. Like this one. How clear can it be? Nothingness. Absolutely nothing. Harmony. Clinging to the past. Experiencing, letting go, and possibilities. Then crazy thing is, that's exactly what I was going to explain right now. Man, this deck is not playing. Laziness. Postponement, sorrow, inner voice, awareness. It's really, I mean, like direct. Like there's no reading into it. It is what it is, and it ain't what it ain't. Okay, let me get back to it. See, it even says outsider. Turning in. Slow down. Abundance. Courage. Fighting. Rebel. Moment to moment. It's like, it is what it is. You don't even have to read a tarot book, I don't think, to just have this deck. I suggest it for newcomers. So, okay. For years, I was in love with someone. Part of me still has a little bit of heart for it, but, and look, my dice are on 1 and 5, that's 6. So there must be something on the card 6 for me, probably. So for years, actually my address is a 6. For years, I was in love with somebody. And when they didn't choose me, it was devastating, and it took me years to get over it. And I'd never loved anyone like that before. So you imagine that it was harder, more difficult, more heartbreaking. Past lives, look at that. Lives of the past, your ancestors or your previous lives. Every time you grow, you end a life to begin a new one. So I woke up, I went to the gym, and I hadn't been going because I felt like crap. My mind felt everywhere and nowhere, nothingness. I think I would listen when I first started listening to tarot, so my mind would not wander off so far. And then I started drinking, so my mind could put 2 words into a sentence. 7 words into a sentence. The number 7, there it goes. Thank you. Finally, I was going through my things. I started to go through them. All of them. Even stuff that I had written to myself, like just reminders of where I'm going, where I'm headed, or where I'm meant to be. You are strong. You are capable. This will not make you or break you. It will teach you and make you stronger. Things of that nature. This is the hard, but here comes the better. Just like that. I was stuck for so long, and I realized, hey, let me put it like this. When I woke up, and it was like the longest wake up ever. Here I go. I know when I'm releasing because I yawn when I'm releasing. It was the longest. It's like the reverse hibernation. Like bears hibernate. Animals hibernate throughout the entire winter. The longest sleep of the entire year. It was the longest awakening. I don't know what part was sleep. The part before it or the part after it. But one of those parts was asleep. And maybe both of them. But when I came to, and I really started to focus and look around me, I realized 2344. I've been asked out by some beautiful people. Inside and out. Beauty on the outside, I used to tell people all the time. Beauty is only skin deep. And if your soul does not authentically, some beautiful people can actually be so beautiful. And then the way they speak to you and smile is so beautiful. But deep down, the dirty things that they're using that speech and that smile for is so ugly. This person would come and be so sweet and beautiful. And behind me and leave and behind my back say the most evil of things about me. And I'm not saying it was just one. I mean, but you know what? You can, it was uncanny how long it was hidden. And maybe it was because I was blind and naive. My first real, true feeling of utter love for someone. It really captivates you. No one else in the world would have been able to get away with that. But that's not true. That's the kind of love you you grew up in a bad home and your mama beat you, but you still love her. That kind of love. Still go around her. Still let her, and you still smile when you see her, and just kind of that bad part just kind of comes and goes like the light turns on and off. That kind of, I've never felt anything like that before. It was so bad, I said, Mom, what's wrong with me? I have no problem like blinking an eye when people like, are you serious right now? Okay, bye. But that one caught me off guard. This is my point. I'm really just kind of speaking on the severity, the way in which I felt. Then I came to. When the pain came, reality came. And I've been asked out by people willing to do anything to be with me. And I wanted to sit and watch tarot and see when that person was coming back. In the beginning. Actually, for a while. For years. That's why I mentioned what I mentioned about tarot. It's not like a hater thing. Because clearly, I love tarot. Because it has a purpose if you listen. It really does. Everything means something. Your guardians and ancestors would not take their time to come through to tell you to wait for somebody that hurt you. That's not the purpose. The purpose is self-worth. Coming to my point. This may sound narcissistic. And okay, I'm with it. I'm a really good person. Took me a long time to realize that. I give people the shirt off my back. They commence to steal them. Took me a long time to realize I was being taken from. Because my response to that is, well, you should have told me you needed one. Here's another. Because I know what it's like. I have this empathy for people that can be converted into naive. 29 on the clock. But then when I came to, I know that I'm releasing. Then when I came to, I realized, B, it's always been you. That's why I keep getting the King card. I gave And I'll show you which card I'm talking of. The Rose. These are my new ones. I have to go through those too. But I keep getting it. The Queen Bee and the King card. And I had no idea. I was like trying to explain, but I kept getting this card. They're right next to each other. I keep getting What You Seek. Like some of these cards I've never even read on. Where's the other one? Is it in here? And sometimes you don't realize how much of your energy goes into things, which makes it difficult for you to reach for other people. But then a reader once explained to me, she said, and I was like, oh my God, this girl is so negative because she spends like 2/3 of her reading bitching and bitching and bitching about things that go on in her life. But it's legit though. Not a lie. It's very literally legit. I keep getting this one. And y'all know I keep getting this one. If you've watched all of my readings, things are not so black and white. This is not just about that situation, black and white, what's clearly in front of me. This is about what I don't see, which was my worth. And the wrath I was administering to people. I was just giving it out. And King Bee. These are the cards I keep getting, or I kept getting over and over again. And then I keep getting this one. Your Path Alone. I've never even seen this one. Half of them. Because these keep coming out. That being said, I'm going to do a read on these cards for me. Because I try not to read for myself. Look at that. Schizophrenia and then the mind with the scatterbrain looking guy on the front. That is interesting. Why are you showing me that? Suppression. I wonder what is the focus of these cards. It's called also Zen Tarot. The transcendental game of Zen. So these are clearly for me because they come out in every read. Point being said, let me hurry up and get to the point. So it doesn't sound like I'm bashing that person. Actually, I'm very grateful for that person. When I met this person, I could have never seen myself turn into the person I am right now. I owe her a great deal of gratitude. Because my life would have been very different. I would have never accepted the person I am today. Me. And all its facets. Again, I've had some really, I'll go back to the subject. I've had some really sweet, kind people ask me to do a myriad, to take me out on dates, come pick me up, let's go out, give me anything I want, do what I want, and it was still all unsatisfactory because my mind was not in it. And then when I came to I looked at everything and I was just like, I looked at everything I went through, and all I can really think is, I love you, B. You are so strong. I don't hate the person. I don't even have a bad thing to say about them. God says if you have nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. However, I mean, I know it's coming out like it's bad, but it's not. It's the truth. Even if the truth is bad, it's still true. But the transformation in my life was true too. A really hard situation turned into something that was life-changing. I never thought I'd be sober. I've always smoked weed, or I still smoke cigarettes, but I always smoked weed. I've always drank. Always, 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 always. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't want to. Out of the bad came the good. So it was like, the thing is, it wasn't her blessing, it was mine. I learned self-worth. And now I live in a better situation, a way better one. I struggle more with myself than I do with the actual world. I get more dates offerings than I ever have in my life. Ever. And it's not even like trampy dates. They're good ones. Hey, let me take you out. Okay, what can I give you? Or what can we do? Calling me all the time. B, please talk to me. And I'm just like, but I'm enjoying my own energy. Where you been? Enjoying my energy. Trying to turn stress into happy. Successfully. That has been my journey. And it seems like the less the person spoke to me, which since that day, there hasn't been a word spoken. But oh God, the growth that I got from that. Like they said, like some people say, the tougher someone was on me, the harder I fought to grow from it. To raise my vibration. To cure that energy. And not only her energy, everyone's. I wasn't doing the job on her. I cleared all the energy that I was just like, you know what? And then I realized, you know what? That was the tip of the iceberg. That's when I got tired. I was tired of all of it. So I checked out for a long time. And I always say one thing. I say, if you checked out And God says you can check the hell out. Check the freak out, man. Because I promise you, if you don't check out, it's going to drive you right into another one of those mishaps. I checked out. Straight out. And I was doing things I was like, girl. I was doing things like, girl, you are so brave. Talking to people all kinds of ways. I mean, these are big, huge guys with muscle. Sitting over here like, I had so much anger in me and I checked the heck out. Because I realized how far it wasn't. It was the tip of the iceberg. It wasn't even the base. This stuff started when I was a kid. It's just people were just, I was so sweet and people would just be so mean. Give him the shirt off my back. Give him my back. And I checked out. And I mean for a good 2 or 3 years. It's been a minute. But when I came to, I didn't realize how much work I had done on myself in that checkout. Because when I came to, it was quiet in my house. Listen. There's no one to argue with. I can listen to all the meditation music I want. I can play rap. I was telling a friend, I said, I can fart under the covers and not even wave it out. And if I want to go out there in the world and entertain, I can do that. If I want to bring the entertainment back here, which I don't, because you cannot mess up my zen. I promise you, every time you bring somebody in, you have to clean up the mess that they leave in your house as you're asking them to please go home. Because once you get this kind of peace, it is so hard to give up. That's when you realize at your life that you're no longer lonely. You're enjoying yourself. And man, and you know, when this first started, my first prayer was, God, let me forgive that person and give me the strength to work on myself. I have it written down in a book. My first prayer. I said, give me the strength to forgive that person. Not realizing people are going to be people be. You have to forgive yourself. Your eyes were closed, not theirs. They will always be in that matrix of wanting more, of thinking that you weren't enough. Oh, really now? But then I saw things the way that they did. Now I know the growth within me. That's why I keep getting the Your Path alone. Because this is a journey and may still be a journey I have to take alone if I cannot find somebody that is at the vibrational frequency I am emitting right now. Because it's not the one that I used to have when I just, come over, let's hang out, let's do this, let's do that, let's smoke, let's drink, let's party, and woo, 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 because my house is a frat house and I don't get, no, baby. I don't live in that frequency anymore. Even when I go out, it's just not the same. It's more like I'm going out to entertain in a different way. Even the friends that I had before, all they can do is just back me up and say, hey, B, I made a mistake, man. You're really freaking cool. You were always really cool. I don't know what I was thinking. What are you drinking? Water. A glass of ice water. More ice than water, if you don't mind. Somebody poured liquor in my water cup. I was like, no. He said, I had to go put my cup down. The growth within me. So and you know, when I think about it, I thought that she was the one that I was trying to be like. I admired her. I strived to carry the same energy I thought she was admitting. And maybe she was, because some part of me actually went through a stage in my life where I was just like, you know what? I need to change. Something about it started that. The smile and the envy, maybe. But then I woke up and I realized it was always within me. I was going to change eventually. It just happened a lot sooner than I had anticipated. Because I was an adult child, not considering certain things, especially in my mind. I was considering the danger I was putting myself in. I was considering a lot of things. When I opened my mind and I came through, and I came to, and maybe it was meant to be said like that, I realized the choice, and the choice had to be made. If someone does not choose you, their rejection is God's protection. That's what everyone kept telling me. What could you possibly be protecting me from? I'm in love with her, little Jesus. Would you still love her if she didn't change? That was the premise of the video I made the other day, is when you wake up, what if you don't like the person you're with, that you loved? Not that I wouldn't like her or nothing like that. That's not what I'm saying. But I guess the idea is still the same. Like, what happens when you change so much? That everything in the world becomes like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. Forrest Gump. What I look back on, I just hope that it's not the same for her, because I really do wish her the best. I mean that. But the transformation in my life, she introduced me to this. And it wasn't just her. Another ex as well. All of them actually did. in one way or another, but these were the major ones. They made me realize so much self-worth, I don't even know. I don't know. They made me raise the bar so high. I'm scared that there's not going to be someone that actually can be that. I'll wait. Because, okay, you can't find that kind of person. The person I'm looking for in no bar, club, or nowhere. Can't find him in one of those. Lord help me. I don't want to be your babysitter. That was it. It started to feel like someone and then after everything was all said and done, and then how it went down, I was just like, who do you think you, now that I see it, like, who did you think you were? Like, maybe you got what you deserved. And maybe I did too. Part of me thinks, hey, we were mirroring, we were playing the same game, but I don't think so. That was the weirdest game I ever played. And why that I want you forever but never stayed. That was weird. It was just weird and complicated. And part of me just accepted it because I was getting out of a marriage. And I'd been, kind of stuck one way. And then I got to live a life a whole nother way. One of my own making, by the way, because the person I'm speaking of, it was my life she joined, not the other way around, by the way. So I'm the one with this rambunctious, just everywhere life. Everywhere. I can't go nowhere even today without somebody saying my name. But I think I'm the one. I think for me, I enjoyed this lesson. It wasn't bad. I can't even say that enough. And if this person is watching, it was not bad, and it was not you. It was me. I needed that. It reset my entire train of thought. Like, I don't even dress the same. I don't even speak the same. I'm okay with not being like a stud boy. I want to be myself. I'm okay with living a difference. I'm still very much who I am. I like what I like. But I'm okay with liking what I like this. And I'm going to tell you, it's a little more difficult because, of how my community lives, our preferences. But I still like what I like. Don't let the exterior fool you. However, whoever is going to have to deal with me. And I don't see people having much problem with it. I'm telling you. I just don't say no. I don't say yes to the BS no more. Back to why I was saying this. I'm no longer going to give the job to somebody I know is not capable of handling it. Because at that point, I'm responsible, not the person. It's like God says, forgive my children, for they know not what they do, right? A child. But now it's like my eyes are open. So if I allow it back in the same manner it was, then I will God might stomp on my neck next time. Like, seriously. And this was a heck of a ride. Know your worth. That's what he's been showing me. You are good. You are great. And every time you think anything other than, here comes the karma. The negative stuff too. If you don't learn how to love you, the 7 deadly sins. Do not sit there and eat, get fat and sad. Eat, but eat for health. Want, but want for abundance. And not money, not wealth. Abundance, wealth, two different things. Work, but work for wealth. And not just small wealth, generationally. Which means invest in self. Invest. So that just like everyone else, when they get older, you can retire like all the rest. Matter of fact, you're so spoiled, you don't have to work. You just do. That's what you want to. Realize that God is giving you all this. And you didn't even appreciate it when you had it, trying to give it away to other people that just couldn't see the gift. While they're working for somebody else. Just looking right past you. And you are looking past yourself, allowing it. And that is what I've learned. And that was her gift to me. Hi, Gina. Hi, baby. That was her gift to me. That's what made me a queen. So don't think that I don't live these stories that I'm telling you. And when I read what I'm telling you because I live it. I learn just as much. At the same time, you're learning just as much. My path alone, because it's me. I have to learn to be one person. I have to learn to be a king. And then I will call in my queen. It will happen naturally. By my and from my vibration. But what am I looking for at this point in my independence? What am I seeking, right? If I'm on my own journey. Because not everything is so black and white, and it sure is not going to be easy. Now that you have standards, now that you love yourself, how do you want to be loved? Who is it going to come from? What do you expect? Now that you're okay with being alone, are you going to let somebody in there? Hello, we're trying to send you some. You're going to have to get to know somebody. You have all these people staring and looking and waiting and watching, and you won't let none of them in the door. This person like you, that person wants you, this person is interested, and that person really wants to be your friend. And none of them can come in. Come on, me. Open up a little bit. And the weird thing is, my street name is B. That's my street name. So, a king bee, a queen bee, and the bumblebee. Those are my cards that I keep getting over and over and over again. And then, what do you seek? Your path alone. If you had a choice, what do you seek? Because not all that glitters is gold. And now that you become wiser, now you have to figure out what you want in the state that you're in, which is a state of wisdom, knowledge, love for self, because that's an entirely different woman than the one you've been with. So you're going to expect, you can't go back to the kind of the kind of woman that you just left, because you're not going to be a vibrational match. So now you're in a whole new dilemma. That's where I'm at. So again, I thank her for raising my vibration, leaving so I can understand and know my worth. And you know what? When she left, she said, I know my worth. I have to go a different way now. Okay. On some sneaky stuff. That's what the card said. But it was sneaky. Oh, thank God. So all I can say is, took a lot of strength to knock down all these towers. I sent a whole lot of messages before I stopped. I felt a whole lot of stabbed in the back. I was lost. I was promiscuous. I was crazy. But I learned. See? The Chariot, the Judgment, and the Sun card. I rode that ride. You know, I stopped lying to myself. And I fed myself my own cup. So now I'm in a position in my life to give somebody a starting point that is not the ground. My emotions were on the ground. My feelings were on the ground. My self-esteem was on the ground. My life was on the ground. I had things. But inside me, I was on the ground. Ungrounded. No foundation to start on. I had to create a foundation. No longer confused. Don't really give a damn about the options. Look at all this stuff that's coming in. All the pain is coming in reverse. And that's the justice. That's the justice. I worked on myself. And every day is work. I'll never not want for myself again. And I was the kind of person that I would put myself on, not even on the back burner. I'd take myself off the stove for other people. And then I realized, and then it was them who showed and told me how ungrateful they were for it. Roots of abundance, quieting the mind, and meditation. These are things I get to do. Now, I guess this is what they're promising, which is tender embrace and beyond the ordinary. Maybe I finally, the elephants, number 22, the tender embrace. I finally understand and love myself. And again, it's a weird path to have gotten here. But I remember, and I read that note, and I said, again, and the storyteller, look at that, they're reading me, stop. I read that note in Waking the Lion, which I am a Sagittarius, right? Into me, I see. Okay, cards, y'all stop, because y'all are doing too much. It gets freaky sometimes. So when I came to, and I read that note, and it said, it didn't say, I'm not cussing nobody. I said, forgive. Give me the strength to forgive so I can grow. And that's what I did. Endless possibilities, oracle gifts, smoke and mirrors. Through the smoke and mirrors, now I have another choice. Where do I go from here? I'm ready for a new wish. Thank you very much for coming through. I appreciate all of you. Thanks for the growth and thanks for being here. It's been amazing. I'm glad you listened. I will see you soon. God bless. You're a blessing. This is Asa Wansa Hierophant. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you would like to donate, the cash app is down below. All of it is required. Thank you so much. Bye.